It was we have a powder room, and I went to use it, and it was like, surprise, you're like, whoa, hey.
I didn't come in here for this.
and then I'm like, no.
Yeah. But it's so much of a surprise. You're like trying to close the door and turn the fan on. You're like, ah.
Welcome to the Dudes Podcast.
Welcome to the Dudes Podcast. Hey gang, welcome to another episode of the Dudes Podcast. It's your old pal Uncle here. Also with me, as always, is my brother Devin.
Buongiorno.
Oh, he is foreign. And our brother-in-law Taylor. With the spicy wave. Love it. Back from his trip. And hey, we're glad to be with you again. I'm going to go back through our episodes and count up how many times I say hey, because I think I start... See? I think I start several sentences with that when I'm talking to you good people.
There's a song called Hey, actually.
There is a song called Hey. I can't remember who did that. We're going to go through some recaps. We were actually just talking before we started this about what we're going to talk about tonight.
Some amazing conversation.
Amazing.
It should have been there.
Yeah, I wish you'd have heard that because what we're about to do is nowhere near what we just talked about.
It's so subpar.
It's going to be... But hey, stick with it, and maybe some of what we talked about before will come out. But anyway, we're glad you're here. There's a speech for subscribing and liking and sharing and doing all those things. This isn't your first time on YouTube. If it is, hey, thanks for watching us. If this is your first time on YouTube and you're with us, oh boy, the bar's about to be set high. There is nothing else as good as what you're about to see here.
If it hasn't already.
Yeah. Don't go. There's no need to go to any other channel except the BFF Gang channel. So just stay here if this is your first time on YouTube.
The Dudes Podcast channel.
Yeah, this Dudes Podcast channel. Actually, there are other Dudes Podcasts. There's one that's spelled with a Z, and they have one episode, and we wish them all the best. But I think, based on what I've seen, we are dudes, and we are the most consistent so far. So anyway, best of luck to all the dudes, especially us. Selfish. Anyway, so.
Not luck.
Not luck.
Luck is not faith, so.
No. Yeah, anyway, you ever talking and you have that moment where you're like, I just found some of dinner in my teeth.
Absolutely.
That just happened to me.
The older I get, the more that happens.
Well, I haven't had dinner yet, and I am looking forward to eating after this because my amazing sister and brother-in-law they've been cooking for us, man.
What?
Yeah. And Frito pie is waiting on me.
How about Frito pie? Lindsay would make that when they were staying here. My word. I'm pretty sure I would drop kick a senior citizen in the back for that.
I did. That's actually what I did.
That's how you got it? That's how Lindsay was like, whoa, here's some. Because just some random old lady, you're like,
elbow right in the eye. And they were like, oh my God.
She's like, what a lovely day. Who is this young man coming to? Oh my word.
I apologize, though. I was like, sorry.
As you ran past, but then you yelled, Frito pie is mine. Again, for those who this is your first day on YouTube, welcome. Anyway, so we're going to go like we do. If you've watched before, we're going to go around the horn, and I'll probably edit out that sniff just then.
I muted for the drink, and then I was like, unmute.
I mean, it's like you were trying not to drown.
Need some air. Came up for air.
Yeah.
After that drink.
But you know what? Because it happened while I was talking, and I don't remember what I was saying because it T-boned me when it happened. I think I was talking to people on YouTube, but I'm just going to leave it in. I'm just going to leave it in. It's just going to be there. You good there?
Yeah, I said no. I didn't say anything.
Oh, you said something about mom. It's her
What?
birthday.
It is
tomorrow.
her birthday tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
At an undisclosed date. On an undisclosed date.
Within.
I have the best words.
I know the best words. I wonder what birthdays are like in heaven. You know what I mean?
It's more like
Question.
a birthday for the day
Which
you got to heaven.
birthday?
Right?
Or do you get 2 birthdays?
Or you did get, because I think, Taylor, you just asked the birthday that you got to heaven. Is that right? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
So you got
Heaven
when you're
anniversary.
actually born, then you got when you were born again, and then you got when you showed up in heaven. So, but then 1,000 years is like a day to the Lord, and a day is like 1,000 years. So at what point, like, is it just random moments in no time that he's just like, hey...
It's probably
All right.
Mr. Party all the time.
He
Party
brings
all
out
the time.
a sombrero hat and puts it on you and gives you a flan dessert.
Right.
Flan
Yeah,
dessert.
I guess it's just a constant party. So yeah.
What is that from? Mr. Party all the time. Party all. Oh, is that
That's a
that's
song.
Sinbad? It's Sinbad.
What?
When he came home late. And his mom.
Because I was thinking of the Eddie Murphy
Eddie
song.
Murphy, my girl loves to party.
yeah.
So no, I'm quoting an old. What is it? Early '90s. Sinbad stand-up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where he
I
comes
forgot
home
the
late
bit about
and
him
she-
coming home late.
Yeah, and she's like, Mr. Party all the time, party all the time.
Now, see, I need to go back and watch his old stuff.
Oh,
I
man, it
hope
was
he's
so
doing
funny.
okay. The last I heard, he was.
He was in Sarasota a year or 2 ago. I found out too late to
Chilling
go.
or
I thought you were going to say he was in serious trouble, and
Nope.
then you went to
With
Sarasota.
Sarasota.
And then, so my brain was expecting serious, and you said Sarasota. I'm like, oh, what's happening? Did he forget how to say serious?
Oh no. He can't talk now. I thought he was doing good.
He is doing good. He's completely healed. He's just super. He hasn't had dinner yet. He's like, man, I'm in Sarasota trouble, you guys. What?
My blood sugar. I did some cardio today, and now I need my carbs.
Yeah, halfway through this, Devin's just going to be like,
No, or it'll just be like
yeah,
super.
like right in the middle of a laugh. Just
Oh man.
I think my favorite part, not to, and I may edit this out, but my favorite part is when Devin and I are laughing super hard about something, but Taylor's gotten distracted. And so if I keep him on camera during the editing process, it looks like he's judging us silently. He's just
Well, he's
just
probably
like,
doing that too. He's probably
no,
like these guys.
I haven't seen the stand up, but I was adding a note to my update. Is what I was doing.
it
Devin
was just
reminded me
great
of something.
because Devin and I are laughing super hard, and Taylor's like, mm-hmm. He's like a very a proper, like, older brother or something that's just like, well, the children are having fun.
I'm glad you guys are having a good time.
These are
I'm
funny
gonna
stories, boys.
work.
But in his defense, most people are like that when they're around the two of us together.
Yeah. Well, at least he's not confused.
Yeah.
At least he's not confused. God loved the
I'm
people
not
at our
confused.
church. They are confused most of the time when we're talking to each other. They're like, huh? Yeah. Or especially the people that try to laugh along. You know who you are, but we love you. They're like, or they're joking, right? Is that okay? I don't get it. Hey,
Our
you know.
wives don't get it, so
No.
I mean,
but
and my son has picked it right up. And he was making up a scenario earlier today, and I was looking at him and I was like, I'm not even following this one. And I was like, what is he doing? And Kayla turned to me and she said, "What you and your brother do?" And I was
Welcome,
like, "Well,
John. Welcome to the magical, wonderful land of having a good time with words.
and a very vivid imagination where you're
Oh,
making up
man.
all kind of bits in your head." Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
you would think we would turn that around and like record it and do YouTube shorts and make money off of it, but no, we just keep it between us.
Yeah, right. We're like, when we're done, we're like, wow, we probably should have recorded that. So, anyway, who wants to go first? Does
I'll go
anybody
first.
want? Okay.
Oh wait, no, you go first.
Actually,
You go first.
I feel like mine's shorter because they aren't big life events. But
I mean, it's according to what you call a big life event.
That's
That's pretty big.
Look at that
That's pretty big.
sparkle.
Look at that. That is so pretty.
Dang. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
look
man.
at this.
I like
This
that
is
sparkle.
another Vision List mark off, and boy, oh boy, it may be one of the prettiest guitars I've ever seen. I have
And
wanted-
Lauren now officially owns more JP models than JP.
Maybe. Probably not, but yeah, this I've wanted a white Majesty for a very long time, and they did not make one. They had one called, I think, like Polar Ice, and it was kind of a matte finish white with a black shield in the middle. And I thought about getting that, but it never happened, and they don't make those anymore. But for this year, they just came out with this finish, and obviously it's a metallic finish or sparkle, if you want to call it that. But I think it makes it nicer. And
You think?
Absolutely it
You
does.
said it for sure. Wrong.
yeah,
You said definitely.
it's
Wrong.
just so nice, and it plays really.
I didn't
really
know
well.
the neck
I was
was
just
the
thinking
same
that.
color.
I didn't
That's
realize
so
that it was like
epic.
Isn't that
the
great?
same finish all the way through.
That is
Just-
literally one of the most, if not the most epic finish I've ever seen on a guitar.
I agree, and I'm very happy and thankful for all my other ones, but this is, ooh, doggies, this is nice, and
Does it have a special place in your heart?
It does. It does. And the one I showed on a previous episode, like I said, that was number 2 out of 100.
Right.
This is not a limited edition, but it's,
It's so cool.
they won't be making this finish forever because they do
Right.
discontinue finishes. Once they're done with the line and they introduce another line, the old line goes away until everybody's bought it up. So all that means is there are probably more in circulation of this than there are the 100 that I have, the number 2 of 100. But this, I'm very thankful for the number 2 of 100 that I got. But this one, because I've been waiting on a finish like this for so long, it very much has.
Headstock is the same finish.
Oh, and that's big for me. I like.
That's big for me
so
too.
cool.
I like
Ever since
matching
Mylan had
headstock.
his red headstock, what was it, a Strat or was it a Strat copy?
I found out that someone handmade that for him.
Oh, really?
It's got the red guitar with the red headstock. It's
Yeah.
got the Broken Heart emblem burned into the wood,
Wow. Okay.
and then finished over it. And they called it. It's actually named the Milan 1. So, yeah. Ever since that guitar, I've really had a thing for matching headstocks, and there are very few guitars that I have that their headstocks don't match, but like the Gretsch, it's a Gretsch, and it fits a Gretsch, and then the Mayonnaise, it fits the Mayonnaise, but everything else, with the exception of the acoustics and the Telly doesn't have a matching headstock either, but that works for a Telly. But even my Strat has a matching headstock.
well,
anyway, go ahead.
just for all the faith police out there, when I said it has a special place in his heart, we're not saying that he loves it, just that it's a special possession. Sorry, I just had to. But
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my tongue if anyone was like, "Oh, you're not."
So it's the love stuff. No, we don't.
The Lord got this for me, and I enjoy it. Now, if you don't know, if someone says, "What does he need all those guitars for?"
It's not about need; it's about want.
That's true. Someone asked me when they saw my guitars on a call where we were on video. They said, "Do you play guitar?"
But there are people that they just collect guitars.
I know, but that they're not a lot of people that do that because it's an expensive, collector's item. So you at least know how to play a G chord. But anyway, all three of us are musicians. In fact, the theme that you hear at the beginning of every episode, that's us.
It's all me.
That is
it's acapella too.
Yeah, it's acapella.
Wow.
We did a take 6 type thing where everything is we just sang it.
I'm kind of like the guy from Police Academy. I do great voice sound effects.
What's his name? Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
But
apparently he's not a very polite guy.
Really, I want to hear more about that as soon as I finish the. So that theme is us, and Devin and I have we record music, write and record music, but the theme is us. Devin did the keys and the drum programming. Taylor played some really nice clean and rhythm guitar on that, and what guitar did I use? The guitar over there, this one, that one right there. It's hard to do. I don't know how other men do it. I played the lead guitar solo, and Taylor used his sword to. No. But yeah, so that's us, and that's why I have all these guitars, because we're musicians, and we really enjoy instruments, and the Lord richly gives us all things to enjoy because we trust in Him and not in money or things. And if, does this have a special place in my heart? Yeah. But so a couple of things. The reason I have this guitar and all of these is because in 2015, I had a guitar that had a really special place in my heart. It was a dream guitar. And I think I've told this on the podcast before. The Lord put it on my heart a couple of years later to sow it into somebody. I did not know that He was even interested in that type of guitar, and I think someone told me that He had that guitar on His vision list, and I did not know that whatsoever.
It's very
very specific.
Very specific, because it's not like a Strat or Taylor. It's not one of the generic. It's a boutique brand, boutique-ish. I know Music Man is not a small shop, but
they're a small American shop, family owned. Yeah. So,
but it's a signature model, so it's uber specific.
Yeah. So I sewed that into him because there's nothing more important to me than, no matter how much I might mess up day to day, there's nothing more important to me than pleasing the Lord. And if He wanted me to sow something into someone else, then I'm absolutely going to do what He said. Not because I'm awesome, but because He enables me to do that because I trust Him. Well, that was the first nice guitar I had. And I actually used it on the recording that we did of Hey, which is what Taylor was referring to earlier, back in 2016. Yeah.
I'm also on that song, if you guys were wondering.
He is. He absolutely is.
I yelled, "Hey!"
Yeah. Which that's awesome, by the way. The fact that except for the kids, and this is a little digression, except for the kids who weren't born yet, every member of the BFF gang is on that song.
Yeah.
And Tom.
And Tom. So it's the BFF gang and Tom. Who's an honorary? He's an honorary member. Shout out to Tom. But yeah, my wife, Taylor's wife, Devin's wife, and all me, Devin, and Taylor, we all shouted "Hey" a bunch of times in that song, and man, that was fun, and it sounds great. Anyway, so yeah,
I'm gonna sing
that's
it
funny.
for you now.
Yeah, here we go. And a 1 and a 2 and
I quit.
I quit. Yeah.
I love that.
I want you
there,
to
Taylor.
sing "Hey" in Spanish.
Hey.
Hola, hola.
I think they still say hey.
Well, yeah. There he goes, judging us again. He's typing. No, that's not how. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, so sewed that guitar, and all of these guitars are harvest from that and from other guitars that I've sewn into people as the Lord put it on my heart. And does this have a special place in my heart? Absolutely. But it is not so dear to me that I wouldn't sew it if he told me to. And
Seed produces of like kind.
that's right. That's absolutely right. And there's just, he's just so good to me. And the fact that this is here, while the things that are going on, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. The fact that this is here in the midst of all these things, just looking at it and looking at this one back here, and actually all of them, but especially these two during this time, it's a loud proclamation of his goodness, because my wife and I are in the middle of right now, in a couple of weeks, guys will be out here giving us a whole brand new roof. And that is not a cheap undertaking. And another team will descend on our house during that or right after that to completely tear out the AC that we have upstairs, including the duct work, and tear out the AC unit downstairs and replace it all. Because it has to be. This house is only 5 years old, but because of someone, for whatever reason, not doing it as well as they could have, and as well as the brand of the builder normally has, things or whatever, and I'm being super kind there, not holding themselves to a certain standard, we're having to do a lot of things. And I was walking up the stairs to my house as I was processing everything that was going to have to be done. And it just came up in my heart. There were two, these are very large, they're very large ticket items that we're about to have to do. And there's still more to do to deal with the little bit of water damage in the sheetrock and the slightest bit of mold in a couple of closets. But all that'll be taken care of right after those things are done. Because you can't fix that until these other two things are done, because they introduce more water every day. But it's a lot. It's a lot, and if you allow yourself to think about it, it can scratching myself on camera, scratching my ear on camera. Cut that. Scratching my. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a lot, and if I let myself think about it just from a natural standpoint, it can be a little overwhelming. and that's still with all he's done for us before. He's done some amazing things, and the guys know about it, things that we didn't know how we were going to do it, and he brought it in quickly and easily. Because we've sown into the kingdom and we've obeyed him, and he just takes care of things. But I was walking up the stairs and fighting off thoughts of being overwhelmed, and I heard in my heart, not an audible voice, but heard in my heart, I can do all of this and get your guitar and get Paula. And then he named a certain thing that we've had on our vision list for a long time for her. He said, I can do it all at the same time. And this guitar and that guitar are the guitars he was talking about. And Paula has it'll be here in a few days, the thing that he was talking about with her, and the money is already coming in to do all the things we have to do in ways we didn't foresee. And it's all easy. And he sent us the best companies to work with, people who are interested in helping us and making it right and giving us a house that is the blessing that he means this house to be. And all of that started after I got thankful for the house. And I think I had mentioned that in another episode. But anyway, I'm very thankful for these guitars, especially these two. They are reminders of his goodness in a time where things may not feel super good, if that makes sense. And it fuels my fire to tell everybody that no matter what they're going through, if they're trusting in him, he is good. He only does good. And if you don't quit, he will bring you out on the other side. And Devin and I talked about that some, I think, in the last episode, depending on how these get released. But absolutely, he will bring you through. And he is ready and willing to do things like this for you. Maybe you're not a guitar player. Maybe you don't like guitars like this. Maybe there's something else you enjoy. Maybe there's something else that you have a desire for, and there are other things that you need to do for you and your family. He is the provider. You are not. If you're trusting him, you aren't the provider. He is. And boy, oh boy, he is good at his job. He is a good father. So anyway, that's my update. And it's a pretty good one, and I'm thankful. Thanks for letting me review that. So, hey, who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
So,
Anyway.
for me, on ways. So I have started back training as far as lifting weights goes.
For the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
2028, baby.
LA.
And I don't know why my legs hurt so bad.
Could it be that you haven't touched them or trained them?
And I told Paula, I realized, because I used to say, man, I like the feeling of being sore. I like the upper body part of like, you know.
Yes.
But the legs, I'm like, oh, I hate this. This is awful.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
And I think like when your core is sore, I think that's even worse. For me, anyways.
Along with the legs, in addition to the legs?
Yeah, because it kind of goes into it, to your whatever those muscles are on the tops.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, yeah. It's so I have been. I mean, today I was like, I want to use a grabber to pick stuff up. So I dropped something. I'm like, grabber.
You're like,
And I was like, this is genius. This is fantastic. And I'm still trying to move and everything. I did cardio today, but to get blood flow, and that does get blood flowing through it and stuff. But when there's unnecessary, I mean, when you have kids, you're constantly having to bend over and pick stuff up.
oh, yeah.
So I just thought, well, I'm not doing this anymore. So
Not
I
picking
helped
things up anymore, or not?
or not bending over, not squatting
So
down.
that's
and
why you
bending
got
it.
the grabber.
Yeah, I got the grabber to pick up toys, to pick up anything I dropped on the floor. That the grabber could. I was doing laundry
Picked
and
up Des.
stuff on the floor, and I was like, "Where's my grabber?"
You're out picking up stuff with your grabber and a 90-year-old who has one too, and you're like, got the PU 9000? Yeah, me too. The pickup 9000.
Last night, Kayla and I we were filming something for our vlog in our bed last night. That sounds creepy.
We have a family channel, Devin.
Sorry. But
Not for our channel.
Yeah, you got your own channel?
We were filming something for our vlog last night, and I had to get up to adjust something. I was just like, just. I was like, maybe we could just not. But it was something that like start recording or something like that. That I was like, maybe we can faith it, just like.
I can't remember why.
Do you guys use your faith like that too?
Yeah,
Well, isn't that how it's? But
that's how you do it.
I can't remember why, but I remember Paula's legs falling asleep, or at least one of them falling asleep in the bed, and I could feel her getting up, and I occasionally am a light sleeper. Sometimes I'll sleep super heavy, but normally, if somebody moves, I'll know it. But she gets up and she steps on that one leg, and I'll never forget. I turn over and I just watch her go. I mean,
Straight down.
Yeah, no stumbling, no trying to catch, just get out. Whoa, poof. And so that's what I'm imagining you do, and you're like, all right, I'll start it. Go here. What was it? Her grandmother, Kayla's grandmother, said, "I'm going down.
I'm going down.
I'm going down."
Life alert.
But what's funny is that's what it's been like. My legs will just give out. I'll be walking through the house and I'll just be like, oh God.
You guys, but that's real. Like, you guys may remember, fans of the podcast will remember my story of, it's from Meet Lauren Part 2 of leg day at Gold's Gym, where
The
the lactic acid caused me to just spray horrors out of my mouth into the stall of a bathroom. It was that workout that I think it was the next day, we were going out to eat with someone to a Chinese restaurant or something like that. And I remember staggering from the car and getting to a curb and going, oh no. And I actually looked for the little assistance ramp that takes you up on the sidewalk, and it was way down there. And I'm like, oh. And so I don't know. Maybe nobody's ever done this, but you're just like, all right, I'm just going to rock until I can throw one leg up. You're like,
Like a big one or something.
yeah. And you just throw one leg out. You're like, oh, I did it. And then you remember, I've got to put pressure on this leg to pull myself up. My 5'1" wife had to assist me stepping up. I don't know what I did to my legs that particular day, but it was enough to throw up and not be able to get to the Chinese restaurant on time.
It's an intense
I can tell you
workout.
what I did. 5 sets of squats.
Well, that's after, by the way, 5 sets of squats. That's a lot of sets of squats.
Well, that's the thing. That's all I did. Because so it was.
It was your first time back, right?
Yeah. And they were various forms of squat. So just regular stance, high bar. Then I did close stance, and then sumo stance. And my first, so I was supposed to get another set of sumos in there, and not to sound super spiritual or anything, I was like, I think I should stop. And I followed that witness. See, this is not to
Do it.
not that anybody cares.
They
every
do, I
time
do.
before I lift, I ask for the Lord's help. And I ask that he establish the works of my hand, that he helps me with my form and technique. And I yield myself to him for his direction to tell me, hey, don't do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've pushed against that before, and I've hurt myself. I've had a witness to. I tore my my ACL in my shoulder, this shoulder, and it wasn't lifting. I was moving too fast, and I only had 155 on the bar. It wasn't anything crazy heavy, and that's not a humble brag or anything. But I just
Like
wanted
a bag
to
of
get
feathers.
I just wanted to get the bar on, like, up to another level to do another exercise, and I was like, I can do this. So I was like, huh, bam, and got this one and missed this one. That's not where it hurt. And so I was like, I know what I'll do. And when I did, I was like, oh, that wasn't good. Yeah. But I am starting back slowly. And so what I did was I thought, well, I'm going to go way lighter. But what I'm going to do is I'm really going to focus on my form and my technique and go slow, like actually move slow. There's, like tempo training kind of thing. And my eccentric is at least 2 seconds, at least.
Wow.
So,
That's
and
slow.
I was like, this is going to be easier. And it was not easy. But I was getting close to failure, just like I was with some of the heavier stuff at a medium tempo. But which is, what
That's good.
I was using. I use RP Renaissance Periodizations app, and it's amazing. Dr. Mike Israel.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. Don't watch him around children. And
Yeah.
if language offends you, don't look him up. But his information is great. And he's big on slow, eccentric, like a big stretch and everything. And so
The education portion of his content is really good. The humorous side of him is really filthy.
Pretty dark.
I really wish he wouldn't do that. Honestly, Dr. Mike, if for some reason the algorithm brings us to you, dial it back a little bit, because there are young kids that could.
But you see, he's
benefit
more
from
likely to up it since you said that.
All right, man. Whatever floats your boat.
All that to say, yeah, I mean, that's the way he recommends training, and boy, it is not easy. But I think it's probably a safer way to get back to it. Low injury risk, and and everything. But squats slow. Hey,
There it is again.
There it is again.
That's gonna be somewhere in the first circle of hell. You're gonna get to the first circle of hell through
Squats, mister.
through our exit where Taylor and I live. That's how you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
This weird clover interchange where people getting off and people getting on like have to get into the same lane, and that's how you're gonna get into the first circle of hell. And then when you get there, slow squats.
The thing about that circle of hell is it's not actually run by the devil. He's on much lower levels. But it's this one lesser demon named Todd. And he's the only demon that will ever go, hello. And so you arrive and you think, I'm in the bad place, right? Because I didn't accept Jesus, which, by the way, you should, because you don't want to go there. And Todd will be like, before we escort you down to the lower levels, for the next several years, you're just going to do squats. And
slowly.
And then once you feel like you're going to die, that's when we'll add plates. And we'll slow it down a little bit more. Again, my name is Todd. If you need help, you should have accepted Jesus, because we don't help you. Apologies to anybody actually named Todd. But
so yeah, I've been getting back into training. That's good. Sarah is potty trained.
yay!
Yeah. Oh, nice.
She's knocking it out of the park with it, and I mean, she's had some small accidents, but she's not having big accidents. She'll catch herself, kind of thing, And number 2 is going slow, or not slow. It's more of an adjustment for her.
Okay.
But she's getting it done. So yeah, so that's good. And today, my boy learned how to ride a bike.
Yay, John!
And
Oh,
he
my
got
buddy.
it so fast.
How
It
are we
was so
here
great.
already?
I
How are
know.
we here already?
And he was just about to. I mean, we'd only been doing it for. God, we couldn't have been doing it for 10 minutes. And he got so frustrated. And because he was getting frustrated, I felt myself getting a little frustrated, you know. And I was like, buddy, just calm down. And he dropped his bike and he's like, I want to take the pedals off, because he's had no pedals on it. And he's just been, like using it as a balance bike, because they have found that if you can get the balance portion down first, then it's easier to add the pedals in and start, you know, that way. Seems to be the case, because I encouraged him not to quit. And the very next try, I said, just start going like there's no pedals. And then once you get going, just start pedaling. And that's all he needed. It was like it just clicked with him.
Wow.
And he rode back to the house.
Wow. Thank you,
Yeah.
Lord.
That's
awesome.
And he was so, we have video, and I don't think I've ever seen him genuinely smile so big.
Oh.
Just like where his eyes are basically shut, you know, because he's smiling
bless
so
his
big.
heart. Oh, that's so awesome.
Oh, he was so excited. And then Unkte came out and rode his bike with him. And I got on my fan bike and pretended like I was riding with him.
As he zoomed past the garage, you're like, you're doing great, buddy. That's so good.
What I did do is once Taylor and Lindsay went back inside to start bath time, he was
For
still out
kids.
there. Yeah.
Date night, bath time.
But the fan bike is actually fairly easy to move, so I just like took it and put it out in the driveway, and
You've been working out. You're just like,
well, it's not heavy. My bench is heavier than that bike is. It's sturdy, but it's sturdy, but it's not heavy. It's kind of awkward to move a little bit, but it's got wheels on the front, so you just kind of tilt it forward and you know. So
is that the sound it makes? I like it.
Yep, quite literally.
John was so happy though, because we went out there and walked over there, and he said, Unkte, you're just in time. And he said, I learned to ride my bike. And then he said,
that's
watch.
so
And he
awesome.
took off, and yeah, he's just smiling. I took a picture of him.
It's a great
Probably
picture
not going to
too.
share it, but so what's funny is I was actually taking a picture. He was looking at the moon in the picture, because I saw the moon. I pointed it out, and he was looking back at it, and I was like, let me take a picture. I didn't say that. And I went to take a picture, and he just looked back, and he did that smile. I actually can. I probably, if you could see it, let me. You mind if I show it?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean,
If you can see it, let's see. You can't
look
really
at that.
see it, but
I'll put it in.
he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that grin.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Oh
better.
my goodness.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. That's perfect.
And-
Look at that, buddy.
And so the decorations, everybody's gonna be like, "Whoa." So Devin's the ultra patriotic dad.
Well, USA.
Yeah, but Friday, his school did a bike parade. And so you
That's right.
decorated the bike with, thing. It was Patriot Day. So, that's why he's got all that. And he thinks it's amazing. So it's staying on there as long as possible.
It does look pretty cool.
So yeah, good, like major milestones. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And he once he, I mean, I didn't see it start happening, but how soon was it before we got there that he picked it up?
Not that long, but that's the way he looked when it just clicked all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say because he looked like he had been riding it for years, the way he was doing it, just going up and down, like using the brakes and everything.
The
He was doing
video
really good.
that Kayla sent, that's his third, route that he did after figuring it out. So yeah, it was
That's awesome.
yeah.
That is so great. That is so great. You're talking about the balance thing. When you were saying that, I thought to myself, okay, then what do training wheels do? Well, I guess training wheels are supposed to do the same thing because they're not, at least they shouldn't be flush with the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I was riding a bike with training wheels just the other day. Honestly, when I was just a little younger than John, because I'm pretty sure I learned to ride a bike without training wheels around John's age. And I remember instead of using the training wheels like I should have and learning that balance and the training wheels catching me if I would fall over, I would just lean to one side and just be like, this is the easiest thing ever. I would be pedaling and just leaning. And if I just want, and I remember I would just go back and forth to either side, just call, and they both made different sounds on the pavement. And I would hear that and I'd be like, and honest to goodness, I'd try to switch it with like a rhythm, and then I'd fall or something like that. But if I'd done it right, it would have been easier. But from what I recall, Dad took them off and there were pictures of it. And, I don't think I have jeans on. I think I have little boy dress slacks and a polo shirt tucked in.
Nice.
Because that's what I wore. But anyway, yeah, Dad just gave me
Athleisure wasn't a thing back then.
no. and especially for us being in the denomination we were in and traveling still for church, there wasn't a lot of opportunity to wear jeans and certainly not shorts because no. But yet Dad gave me there's a picture of him giving me a push on the back and off I go. And that was a good moment. I remember it pretty well, and I think didn't Lindsay say that Paula taught her how to ride a bike?
Yeah.
That's how long Paula's been in the gang. But that's awesome. Seeing him riding that bike, I cannot believe. Time is so weird. I was watching them the other night, watching John and Sarah while Devin and Kayla went out on a date, and he's just so tall now.
Mm-hmm. He's really tall.
He's just his arms and his legs are just so long, and he's such a tall little boy now. He's not this little guy that Uncle can just carry around like he used to be, and it's just weird. But Sarah wanted to snuggle on the couch while we were watching TV, and
He's
then
my
John
snuggler.
comes. Yeah, but John comes in there and he sees it, and he wasn't feeling great that particular evening, and with his tall self, he climbed right up in Uncle's lap. So I've got both of them, and he's a little bigger than she is. So, but we made it work, and boy, oh boy. I love those babies.
That brings up a praise report that it's not even been, well, it's been a week, but I mean they're doing a lot better than they were last week.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, they're
Thank
doing
you,
it.
Lord.
They're not totally over that hump, but they were outside riding bikes tonight. So
Thank you, Lord. I
Yeah.
had to be careful both the night I watched them and last night, because Paula and I were over at Taylor and Lindsay's house, and John and Sarah were there. Devin and Kayla were there for a little bit, and for a couple of things happened, and John was having a moment where he was disappointed nobody wanted to, I think, go outside and play or something like that. And so he comes over and he lays his face on the couch next to where I'm sitting. He's just face down. And I said, "Hey," and he, no. I said, "Hey." He said, I think he said what or something like that. I said, "You want to play with this?" And he turned his face over just so one eye could look, and I had my fist up, and he said, "Yes," and he jumps up, and he's like, and we got to going, and I was mixing punches, not real punches, but play fighting with
You have
tickles.
to toughen him up.
Yep, there's only one way he's gonna know: punch him straight in the nose.
Don't want none of that.
Don't want to just go run away. Then you just break your hand and walk away. But anyway,
and walk away.
yeah.
Break the wrist.
And he got to laughing, and I remember seeing his little face because he got to laughing, and it triggered a little cough fit, and his face looked kind of panicked, and I'm patting him on the back, and I said, "You okay?" And he's going, but like this, but he had this face of, "I'm coughing, and it's not stopping as quickly as I want it to, but I'm okay. Let's keep playing." And so obviously, Uncle's like, "Maybe we should settle down a little bit." He's like, "No," and I'm just like, "What?" And then another coughing fit happened. I'm like, "Okay, well, let's do something else right now." And he's like, "Oh," he totally, willing to take the suffering of the cough for a good play fight with Uncle, but I can't do that to the buddy. But anyway, so he's just growing so fast. And Sarah, sorry, I'm all in your updates, Devin, but Sarah has not been having accidents except when Uncle is around, and she just doesn't want to stop and go use the bathroom because she's having such a good time. But last night, a little bit of water out of her cup spilled in her lap and a little bit on the couch where she was sitting. And she's sitting with me, and we're reading a book. And as soon as she felt that water, she says, "I need to go potty." she runs out of there and was certain that she needed a change of underwear and all that. But it was water.
I earlier today, she had a moment where she's been wanting to try the different bathrooms. It's like musical chairs. And we're like, "No, yours has the specific little potty seat on it." So you, and she is curious as to why boys don't always have to sit down.
Okay.
Take that,
So,
women.
Yeah. Standing up.
And so
Got stuff to
she's
do. We can't sit down.
she's going back and forth. And we're like, "No, go to your bathroom." And she's like, no. And she wanted to go to our bathroom. And so eventually she just does go to our bathroom. And it's now been such a back and forth thing. She's, a little bit has come out. But I run into the bathroom. She has crawled on top of the toilet and stood on it and crouched down and like braced herself with her hands. And she's like,
What's the noise?
and I was like, "Sarah, what are you doing?" She's like, "A pee-pee potty."
I like the look too. You're like, huh? Oh, hey, I'm just going potty. No, no, I'm good. Yeah, we're good.
Just crouching and holding
just
on.
a little.
She always does this she always does this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been a trip, but it's funny.
Luke always has to have a book when he sits on the potty. Always. Like, he will wait until he might even have an accident because he's like, "I need a book. Where's my book?"
Hey,
So we always try to
get this
have
process started.
Yeah, we always try to have one like right there for him.
Reader's Digest.
Oh, that's which Reader's Digest? I didn't know those existed. Wow, I probably shouldn't talk about this until staying with our mom's parents, our maternal grandparents, and they had like a large basket full of magazines.
An alarming amount of Reader's Digest.
Yeah, with so many, and this is the age where I'm just like, well, if you're not reading, the picture Bible, you read comic books.
Right.
And I remember picking up the Reader's Digest, and I'm like, what is this? Yeah. And it was just the.
Are they still around?
I don't even know. That was my entry and exit to Reader's Digest. Boy, oh boy.
General Interest Family Magazine.
But hey, is there any... I mean, look, this is the Dudes Podcast, but is there anything you won't read during that moment?
I'm pretty sure I've had soap bottles.
Absolutely.
So...
Thank
God! Thank goodness for our phones now.
Yeah, before phones, I became well acquainted with what my shampoo contained. I remember coming out one day and telling my dad, "Do you know my shampoo's slightly acidic? What in the world? Will I lose my hair because of this?" And he's like, "What?
Why are you reading that? What are you doing in
What
there?
do you do?" I didn't have anything else. This was
listen.
not
I'm
planned.
not gonna be. I'm not a psycho. I'm not just gonna sit there and stare at the wall while I use the bathroom.
Who would do that? Who would just zone out and just be like,
All right, here we go.
"Yeah, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for." Shredded wheat, do your job.
Man, again, you are welcome to cut this out if this is TMI. But I got caught in the bathroom the other day with nothing. And I had a slight panic attack. I was like,
I don't know what to do.
Start like playing drums on your lap and singing a song.
But okay, so I'm not going to cut this out. Welcome to the Dudes Podcast, because I have to know, and I think some other viewers want to know, what did you do?
nothing. I'm getting kind of nervous right now thinking about it. It was a dark time. And
are you okay? Because I feel
I never want to go back there. I can tell you that much. I never want to go back there. It's nothing I ever want to experience again.
The last time I was that concerned for you was like when you got attacked with your stroke, because that's horrible to be.
You see like a backup in there.
There needs to. What? But hang on.
So I had backup in my bathroom.
Oh, it wasn't your bathroom. Okay.
It was we have a powder room, and I went to use it, and it was like, surprise, and you're like, whoa, hey.
I didn't come in here for this.
and then I'm like, no.
Yeah. But it's so much of a surprise. You're like trying to close the door and turn the fan on. You're like, ah.
Welcome to the Dudes Podcast.
Welcome to the Dudes Podcast. You pick up the hand soap bottle and you're trying to turn
Like
the fan
throwing
on.
it.
You're like, oh. And you hear it go click, boom. Or there was one time, I don't know if I'm going to leave this in there. There's one time I did that and accidentally turned the light off. I'm like, dang it, no! Now it's
Now
too
in the
quiet
dark.
and I can't see. And then, I'm just trying to get the fan on and like click on it down, and I've thrown the thing that I had in my hand, and it's like over there. I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Because the process has already started. Now it's black in here. What am I gonna do?
Oh my gosh.
But have you ever been in I'm sorry, Taylor, please go. Get in on this.
I think this may be something similar to what you're about to talk. Are you about to bring up
Public restrooms?
lights that turn off on their own?
Yes. And
So-
are you're throwing rolls of toilet paper in the air to try to trigger? You're like, okay, I'd catch it because I need that.
I haven't experienced that. I have a friend who I won't say his name, but
I've
I have a
lived
friend
the nightmare.
who was in in the church that I used to work at and I went to school at, actually, they have an elementary school up near the youth auditorium. And so during like regular school hours, that's the school's kind of bathroom, but we were a part of the college for the church. And so we'd be up in the youth room doing, whatever, running cables and setting stuff up. And he was in the bathroom there for some time. And then he was in the bathroom, and then a classroom comes because they use those bathrooms of like,
Oh no.
I don't know, third graders, fourth graders, whatever, and the kids
no.
walk in. And I
he was
think the
breaking
light had
large
so he was going to the bathroom. The lights had turned off on him. He was like, "Well, this is just it right now." And then he finishes, starts to come out, and the kids walk in, and the lights turn on, and he's walking out, and they just kind of look at him. It's like, what are you doing here in the dark?
Oh man! Hey kids! Oh no, I've been in a public and I despise public restrooms. I
I hate
despise
it.
public restrooms. But this was, I mean, there's just sometimes you have no choice, and this was one of them. And it was one where I was the only one in there, and the lights are like, well, I don't hear anything. So I'm like, oh. And it's like, it's one of those where there's no windows or anything. You know, like the little window that some gas station bathrooms have, just that little sliver of hope at the top of the wall. No, this is like one in the mall that's in the back of the back of the back of the place where even employees are like, I don't want to go back there. And that light just goes off and you're just like, I don't. And this is before phones, by the way.
Oh,
like
man.
before the little flashlight on your phone and all that. And before, you know, back when, yeah, none of that. And if I did have a phone, it was the little BlackBerry with the non-color screen, so you just like the faintest light that's ever been. So you just have to wait until someone else. Man, I hope somebody else has to go to the restroom pretty soon. And after a while, someone else comes in and the light comes on. You're like, okay, hurry! You know, clock's ticking. Yeah. So hey, welcome to the Dudes Podcast.
I had for the first time in years, I had to stop at a random public bathroom the other day, and I was like, well, I guess I'm taking a full shower when I get home again.
Yeah. Why is it that everything in those bathrooms, you're just like I wonder how many diseases are on these things.
Oh.
It just feels
I carry
awful.
Lysol wipes with me. I carry all kinds. I have it. Some people have first aid kits. I have an emergency poop kit.
I wasn't expecting you to say it. I am thankful for how clean Bucky's bathrooms are, though.
That's their thing. Yeah.
Bucky's bathrooms are very clean. Taylor, were you about to say
And
something?
large.
Everything
They
at
are
Buc-ee's
large.
is large.
Because they're from Texas.
They are from Texas. Everything.
I don't think I was.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was. Well, you may as well, because Devin, is that all your updates? Because if it is, then it's Taylor time.
I don't know. I can probably come up with some more poop stories.
Oh yeah. Look, this far in, if the people who listen, they know what we're about.
Oh yeah.
After the Meet Lauren episodes, is anybody surprised? No, shouldn't be.
And do y'all ever feel awkward around people now that you're like, I know you probably watched it and you heard me talking about poop?
It's never honest
about
answer. It's never crossed my mind.
Yeah, me either. That would be crazy.
that would be.
Why would you think about that?
I would think.
I don't think about it until someone's like, "Oh, I watched this episode." I'm like, "Oh, you watched that?" Like, and then there's been some ladies, some of our friends that have said they watched the podcast, and I'm like, that's for dudes.
Welcome, ladies.
Ladies
But,
are welcome.
They're welcome to watch it too. But
It threw
just
me
know
off.
That's what we talk about some stuff. So
When Melanie,
women poop too, though.
They do.
We have the same person that cuts our children's hair, and she was cutting their hair yesterday, and she threw out something from the date night car talks, and I was like,
Oh, really?
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was kind of caught off guard. I was like, I mean, I know I'm a big deal around here, but I didn't know it was that big of a deal.
I was certain I would be famous, but not. Wow. Okay.
I need to get I need to get
Still
the person
settle
that
down.
cuts my hair to watch our videos, because I know Lauren, your person does. Mm-hmm. Yours and Paula's,
Yep.
and our kids do now. So
Yeah.
if we get all the people that cut our hair to watch our videos, that'd be awesome. That's
Exactly.
a
That
goal.
would be kind of fun. what was I gonna? I'll cut this out. Oh, speaking of date night car talk, Luke wanted to watch that last night while Paula and I were watching him and Lily. And
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, oh yeah. So he watched Uncle's. No, he watched. He Said, She Said movie reviews. Then after that, he watched Date Night Car Talks, and then after that, he watched Auntie's vlog.
Oh,
But
wow.
while he was watching Date Night Car Talks, he said, "Look, Uncle, that's your dad and that's your mom." I said, "Well, not exactly. Not exactly." But I was sitting with him at the table while he was eating food. He said, "I saw you on TV." I said, "You did?" He said, "Yeah, you were talking." I said, "Was I?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You tried something new." Oh, so
Luke
great.
is a big fan of the BFFF game, is what he calls
Yeah,
it.
he adds
The
an F in there and
BFFF
calls it
game.
game.
The
Oh, my goodness,
BFFF game.
I love it.
He's
I
a big
love it.
fan. He's probably most of our views.
Hey, whatever gets us there. Whatever gets us there. But anyway, Taylor, how about you? You've had a lot going on.
Yeah. Yep. We went on another trip.
Wow.
I think a couple months ago we went to Savannah, and now we went to Atlanta, which is where we moved from. And we decided this time that we were going to fly and not drive because it's like 7.5 hours if you make good time, I think. And we have a 1-year-old. So I don't know if you've ever driven an extended amount of time with a 1-year-old, but it can be difficult.
Yeah.
So we decided to fly, and we flew up to Atlanta. We got to we haven't been there, I think has it been 2 years? 2 years ago now? Maybe.
Wow, was it?
I don't remember.
You haven't been back to Atlanta for 2 years? No, you were up there and you led worship at Dad's church another time.
Well, yeah, so I went up there for a weekend, barely, to go up there specifically to do that, and it was just
But you
me.
were by yourself.
Yeah, it was me and Luke. Me and Luke both went.
That's right.
But aside from that, going and visiting, because, we got a lot of friends up there, and your dad and Sherry's up there. So we haven't been, I think the year we moved here, we went the following December, maybe? And then we haven't been since then. So we're coming up on just about 3 years of living here. So it's been, that's 2 years, right? Is my math right? My mathin'?
I think your math is mathin'.
Yeah. So it's been
you
a
don't
while.
want
We
me
have
to
a lot
confirm your math. I'm so bad at math.
Sounds like 17 to me.
I'm just guessing. So yeah, it's been a while. We got a lot of good friends up there. A lot of people. Some of them have came and visited us. Thank you for visiting. We appreciate that. Come back. It's awesome here where we live, and it's nice, and we have beaches. But we flew and we went to church that morning, and we served at church, and then we drove home, got all our stuff in the car, and then some random guy didn't drive us there, and some random girl did. That random guy being Devin, and the girl being Kayla. I got confused for a second because Devin was supposed to drive us there.
I was. But I was
Kayla
also going to
ended
pick up Steven and his
You had a lot going on.
new wife. Yeah.
You had a lot going on that day, but thank you for considering it. So drove up there. So after, church and everything, and then flew to Atlanta. It's only like an hour flight or so. And Luke and Lily did so good. Luke's flown that may have been his third time. He's 3 years old. May have been his might have been his fourth time. But and he's always done good. But I feel like he was a little more aware this time of everything. Before he's a kid and it's just give him some toys and he'll just sit there and play with it or whatever. Yeah. But this time he was kind of a little more aware of everything. And also we went to a theme park not too long ago, and he rode a roller coaster, and hindsight, he might not have should have rode it, but he really wanted to, and he was tall enough to, so we let him. And about halfway through, he started crying, saying he was all done. But
no!
It's good.
Bless his heart.
It wasn't like, I don't think it was traumatizing for him. I think it was a little too fast. And I actually took
way
video.
of saying he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Just
You took
rub some dirt
video?
on
I
it.
want to see it.
I have a video. It's a little sad though, because he's like, the force of the roller coaster's like kind of just throwing him around.
No.
And then you
Buddy.
see like fear come in his eyes, like,
Oh.
and then he starts crying once
You know
it
what you
slows
should have
down.
done? You should have held on to him really tight around his neck. And
Yeah.
like my mother who's in heaven did for me. Call back. Sorry.
I did hold on to him, but I was not afraid of the roller coaster, so I was fine. I was focused on. I was too busy filming with I was like this, filming. But anyway, that's not part of the update. But he is he remembers that, so he's like thinking, he was asking if it's going to go fast like the roller coaster, and I mean airplanes go a lot faster than roller coasters, so I'm like. It's going to go fast, but in a different way, and he was kind of hesitant, but by the time we were there, I mean, he did great. He watched us open the window, watched us take off, didn't think anything of it. Lily, who just turned 1, she did super. She's just a people person. She sat on her lap. Me, Lindsay, and Luke all had a seat. Lily's just looking around, waving at everyone on the plane the whole time.
Oh my goodness!
And then so she just kind of crawled back and forth from our laps the whole time.
Did they wave back? Please tell me
I don't
they
know.
did.
She was waving behind us, so I was just like, I just in my head they waved back. Yeah, in my heart they waved back.
If a baby waves at you, wave back. I mean, what's going on in your life if you don't wave at a tiny baby? Or even a toddler. If they wave at you...
That's a heart issue.
That is a heart
You ask
issue.
me.
It is. And they're trying to... they may be the signal that you're still okay, but you need to make some changes by waving at you, and just wave back because, hey, they'll pick up on if you're no good. Sorry, Taylor.
No, that's
continue.
very true. That's good stuff right there. Wave to my baby. She waves at you. She waves at everyone. We go to Costco. Every single person we pass by, she goes, "Hi." So it's really cute. But yeah, she did really good. I'm trying to think if anything happened besides. I mean, we got there. Everything went well. We hung out with a bunch of our friends. We went back to our church that we worked at, and we went to their Wednesday night service, which they actually asked me to play bass for a couple of days before. So that was fun. I kind of got to go back to that was what I did. I was a music director and mostly bass player. I played other things here and there, but mostly bass for 8 to 10 years, somewhere around there.
So you were getting back to your roots with this.
Yep. So I got to go back to that, be a part of it, and play with some people I haven't played with in a long time. It was really good. I really enjoyed that. And it's hard to catch up with people, especially a large group of people, when you have kids and it's 8:30 at night.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time. And if you watch this, we love you. Sorry if we didn't get to talk to you that much, but we had a lot going on, had our kids, and they were excited, but they were also very tired. And we ended up having to leave, but it was a really nice time. And we got to go hang out with your dad and Sherry for the latter half of the week, because we were there for a week. And man, the kids had a great time. Also another thing I didn't bring up. Lily had a little tummy kind of issues the whole time we were there. So
Oh no.
Monday to, I literally think it was only while we were there. I don't think she had any issues once we got back, but she had pretty much an upset stomach the whole time.
Bless her heart.
Multiple, blowouts throughout the week of being there, traveling. So that made for an interesting trip. She didn't nap normally. So we were tired by the end of the week. I'll say that. We were pretty tired. But they had fun with Nana Day, which is what they call them. And we went to the aquarium, and Luke had a blast, man. Luke was just running all around everywhere. He got a little toy stuffed eel. It's really long. He calls it a snake. But he got that. And Lily got, what did she get? She got this little, like, purse kind of. It's like a pocket purse kind of thing. And she's apparently she's a girl, because she really likes that. And she, like, would take it and just put something in it and take it out.
That's
really
awesome.
That was really fun. We went to a Braves game. That was Luke's first baseball game. It was kind of special too, because I remember as a kid, my dad taking me to, like, we grew up in Savannah, and then I remember I was driving up to Atlanta to go to a Braves game. I played baseball when I was little. So, but that was at the old stadium. They're at the new stadium now. So I have probably a picture of me sitting in front of a statue at the...
What's the old stadium to you? Is it Turner Field, or is it Fulton County Stadium?
I bet, I was really young then, so I have no idea. I just know they have a new one now. I mean, Turner Field is...
That's not Turner Field?
Not whatever, the Truist, whatever SunTrust is now.
Oh, see, I only ever went to Fulton County Stadium. I never went to Turner Field.
Yeah, so they shut down. They didn't shut it down. I think they sold it to Georgia State, and they built a whole kind of area there. When they said where they were building it, I was like, "There's no way it's going to fit there," and they fit it there. But you remember where Service Merchandise was? I know you do.
I do, because that's where I bought Paula's engagement ring when I was broke.
Across the street from that.
What?
Yeah. On the other side of 41. And I mean, it's there. I mean, it's like,
wow.
Yeah. It's big.
And there's there's a whole,
it's not just a stadium
area. Yeah.
It's not just a stadium.
Wow.
It's a whole, I don't even know,
wild.
a complex with restaurants outside of the stadium.
Wow.
Stores.
And man, I remember that area that was like Service Merchandise, and then a car dealership, and then like a steak and ale.
Was steak and ale there? I know there's the Chevron across the street.
There's a Waffle House.
Yeah, there's a Chevron across the street. There's a Waffle House. But back when I bought the engagement ring, and a little bit before that, there was over where the Chevron was, there was a steak and ale.
Oh wow!
Like up the hill behind the Chevron.
Up the hill. Oh my!
I don't even know what a
word.
steak and ale is.
It used to
It's
be
like an
a
A&W
So fancy.
It used to be back in the 80s. It used to be a fancy steakhouse, and they were like, "We serve steak and ale. We serve wine with our steak." Oh, this is so. And man, it turned into a dump. It turned into like. I saw a meme the other day where it said me going to a Red Lobster in the 80s, and it was a lord and a lady from Victorian times, and they're both like, "Oh, hello," and then it said me going to Red Lobster now, and it's Joe Dirt and a hick lady with him.
That's so true.
And that's the way steak and ale was too.
They're still around.
What?
Yeah, they're still around.
Are they like?
Is that one still there?
They have one location right now.
Where is it?
Minnesota.
Of course, in Minnesota. So the but
you can still
the
franchise.
economy wiped out all the steak and ales except one in Minnesota, and it's like, no, you can't have us. And also, nobody cares.
So they rebooted it. That's kind of what they did. So that is the first. Technically,
now they serve
the first
steak sandwiches.
Well, it looks like they're trying to do the whole high end thing.
Stop, steak and ale.
And you know who else is coming back? If what I saw on a headline that I was scrolling through, like on my Google stuff.
So you're about to talk about something that you saw as it went by, like
an
this.
ad. It's an ad.
Yeah.
Hey, click here for.
I think Sizzler's coming back.
Has Sizzler ever gone away?
Oh, I thought they did. Oh,
Or is
Wait.
it Western Sizzling that I'm thinking about? See, I always got that. And
no, there's
Sizzling a
still a lot of Sizzlers on the West Coast.
Sizzler.
And this is so bizarre. There's a lot over on the West Coast, Utah and on, and then there's nothing, and then Puerto Rico. There's a ton of them in Puerto Rico. It's so random.
When I was a kid, I used to get Sizzler and Western Sizzling mixed up. And people.
I
Yeah,
don't
there's a
think I
difference.
knew.
Western Sizzling.
I don't even
Welcome
know what
to the Dudes
Sizzler
Podcast.
is.
Sizzler is
I know
they
what
call
Western
themselves
Sizzling
the
is.
original. They call themselves the original steakhouse. I think they're like a what are they, like a Shoney's or something like
Sizzler?
that? Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea, because now I am just now realizing in real time.
They're
It's
fake
happening
steakhouse.
live, folks.
I
This is
thought
live.
Western Sizzlin' was Sizzler.
They are not.
I'm looking it up, and I'm thinking, oh, we went to a place like this, and I was like, we're going to. Yep, we've been to Sizzler.
It's like, oh,
So-
that's what the cool kids call Western
If
Sizzler.
you
the
learn
Sizzler.
anything from the Dudes Podcast, here it is. There aren't many ways to get to God. There is only one way. There is only Jesus getting to God the Father, who is our God is the one true God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So there aren't. This God over here is not the same as the one true God. And Western Sizzling is not the same as Sizzler. So, hey, we're here we're feeding the spirit and the tummy with different sizzlings going on. I don't know, like, what does Western Sizzling do now? Is it like a buffet? Is it like a Golden Corral?
I thought it's always
Why
been
are
a
we-
buffet.
Has it?
Yeah, I mean the one I grew up
Oh
around.
man, I am like
You guys-
This is throwing me off.
Okay. All right.
We got
so
one down the road. We got to go do a live episode at the
we
Sizzler.
got to go do it because within the family of Western Sizzling Steakhouses is Quincy's Family Steakhouse.
Yes, I see.
which I used to want to go to Quincy's, but we would always go to Ryan's in South Carolina. I don't know why I wanted to go to Quincy's. Maybe it was because it was the
Like Quincy
there was
Jones?
an 80s TV show. Well, I wish it was something that cool. There was an old 80s TV show about an old doctor named Quincy, and played by, I think, Jack Klugman. Look, don't
Whoa.
pop culture.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Did you say Jack
Klugman, and he was in the original Odd Couple series as well.
Oh,
But I'm also the same person that won Trivial Pursuit with the answer of Wink Martindale. Do you remember that, Devin?
I do.
Paula and Devin were playing against me in Trivial Pursuit, and they looked at the question, and I think Paula showed it to Devin, and they were like, he will never get this. And the answer was Wink Martindale, and I said it, and I remember Devin goes, "How did you get that?" There's a lot of useless stuff up here, kids. A lot of useless stuff. I don't remember the quadratic equation, but and I remember even less about other subjects. But I know who starred in the 80s TV show Quincy, and it was ridiculous. But anyway, I didn't know Quincy Steakhouses or Family Steakhouse still existed, but. And here we are on this. By the way, this is the most
Western Sizzling Express. Who wants to go?
what's the express?
You guys know what's
version
better
of-
than Western Sizzling? Western Sizzling, but
Sizzling
fast.
right?
Way
They have a
faster.
drive-through, and they're like,
But yeah, but it's already
drive-through
a buffet.
window.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, just say when.
Yeah, they're just throwing it at you. Like, you're
like
just trying to
lunch
catch it,
ladies.
just drive by. Right.
At school, you just drive by with
Yeah.
a tray and they're just plopping it on.
But isn't that what, like, does Morrison's Cafe still exist? But that's what they do at like Piccadilly, right?
Yeah.
Or do you pick up a plate with stuff on it? I can't
No,
remember.
it is a cafeteria. It's a legit cafeteria. And man, I've had my fill of Piccadilly and Morrison's.
Because of Mama and Papa, right?
The food, yes.
Because Mama and Papa,
Man, they liked Piccadilly, and
they like
our
Piccadilly.
mom liked Morrison's. We went to Morrison's a lot.
A lot, yeah, Mom.
But man, it is
she
so
kept Morrison's in business for a while.
basic. God, so and it is literally cafeteria food. It's not. People say, well, this is like cafeteria food. No, there's a reason it's called cafeteria. Because it's literally cafeteria food.
I'm glad we talked about this.
I know that
Taylor,
we're not talking about the best food, but I'm still getting hungry talking about it.
That's what it means to be a dude right there. You talked about, just mid food, and you're like, I could take some mid food right now. I would tear up.
I don't think Piccadilly's mid though.
I would take a Piccadilly, Salisbury steak or whatever they got.
It's just like hamburger.
Yeah, it's here.
And that reminds me of
the hamburger without the bun, a dry hamburger at that.
The place that Lindsay and I went last night for dinner on the menu had one of the sections were called mids. And I was like, oh, they must not really think much of these dishes. I don't know why they called it. I think I figured it out while I was there, but I don't remember right now why they called it mids. It was like sandwiches or like a burger.
Mm.
Oh, that's, so going back to steak and ale,
like
by the way,
the
Devin's
day.
right. They are like, they are saying steak and ale is back. And then you scroll all the way down. There are franchise opportunities, but you scroll all the way down and you see the family of restaurants. They're part of the legendary restaurant brands. You got Steak and Ale, and then Bennigan's, and Bennigan's on the fly. It's like Bennigan's being the airport restaurant, And then they're like, I know what we should do we should bring Steak and Ale back, baby. Oh boy. Taylor, have we completely derailed your updates?
Sorry.
Is that it? Or
that was my first one.
We totally hijacked it. Sorry.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. We T-boned you hard on that one.
But yeah, I mean, it is there. That place is there. So they got the battery, which is the battery is where all the restaurants and stuff are outside of the stadium.
Hey, I'm so sorry. Did we really? Because I'm just now realizing how we got all the way there.
Yeah,
just
we
talking
got off,
about the Braves Stadium.
We got off the Braves Stadium, jumped to Steak and Ale.
Landed it there for a while.
Landed on Steak and Ale for a while, and then got to Western Sizzling and the Sizzler.
I feel like I need to spice up my updates. Because I feel like I need to spice up my updates because I think...
It's a perfect springboard for the... Unfortunately, it's a springboard for me and Devin to just go, what is this?
What does this do?
What is it? Sorry. You do have several other things. And
I'm so sorry, Taylor.
No, one little faith milestone for your buddy, not to spoil that, but please go ahead.
Braves. Sorry, I never remember.
Steak and Ale Braves game. Oh no, Devin. Did you spit it out?
Yes, you did.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No, it's just that I felt bad for how, like, Taylor, it took him so long. You're like, what was I even talking?
We have derailed this poor guy so bad. He's like, because Devin and I would just come in and just be like, hey, buddy. So, oh, I'm so sorry, Taylor.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry you got choked, buddy.
No. Oh gosh. I'm so sorry, Taylor.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
I'm gonna sit here with a serious look on my face until
I'm gonna
hear all
mute
about
myself and I'm not gonna drink anything.
because it was Luke's first baseball game, right? That's what you already said. And how did he like it? Did he have an awesome time?
Yeah, he really liked it. He didn't want to leave. We were there for. I mean, I don't think we watched the whole game. I think we left at like 8:30, which his bedtime's like 7:30. So, we had to get him some headphones you can like rent headphones from them to block out some noise because he's a little overstimulating for a 3-year-old. Lily had a great time without headphones though. So, but
There's a great picture, and depending on if you're okay sharing it or not, I may put it in, of Lily like holding a box of peanut M&Ms.
Those are my
and
M&Ms.
that is her only concern on the planet. She's just like, oh, I must get all of this goodness in me.
Well, and she didn't eat any of them. She just chewed on the box. She just chewed on the box. So it looks like, because I think Lindsay posted a picture on her story or something like that of Lily holding it. It's like, oh, people are going to be thinking we're like, feeding our 1-year-old a whole box of M&Ms, which we don't know. I don't think she's ever even had candy, but she literally was just chewing on the box. And then me and Luke
Got to get that fiber.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, we got Luke. What did we get him? We got him popcorn and we got some peanuts because you got to get peanuts at the baseball game.
Sure.
And he was sitting there watching it, and he doesn't know anything about baseball except for what he's seen on Charlie Brown. But
oh yeah.
but he was watching, and whenever the guy would swing it, strike or whatever, Luke would go, "Oh, come on!" It was so fun. And anytime, and it didn't matter what team it was, he didn't care.
That's way better than John did at his first baseball game. So much better. He constantly was like, are we done?
And anytime someone hit it, he would cheer. So he didn't want to leave.
Even if it's the other team,
even
right?
if it's the other team, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's okay. We can cheer.
Oh goodness!
I don't think this game matters anyways for their season. Who knows?
It's a baseball game. Of course, it doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But that was really fun. I'm trying to think if we did what else we did. We went to your dad and Sherry's church, and I led worship there, and that was fun. I've done that a couple times now, and man, all those people. I don't know when the last time you guys were there, but all those people that are there are super nice, super friendly.
Good.
It's always nice going there. And I enjoy it. I've been there. I guess I've been there 3 times now. So, but yeah. And then Lily did not get a nap, and we went straight to the airport. Oh! I ate Whataburger. Have you guys had Whataburger?
Yes.
There's one up in.
Oh yeah, we're getting some down here.
Yeah, we're getting one on 64.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We went to one in Dawsonville, and it was really good. Like,
was it?
Wow.
I was very surprised. Yeah, like I just thought it was going to be kind of a normal, like, fast food experience. But we had no time like to get from where we were at to the Atlanta airport and make our flight. We did not have a lot of time. We were like, let's stop here. I haven't eaten here at one of these before. And man, it was really good. Like the buns, even like the buns to the burgers were good.
That's awesome.
I got onion rings. It was good.
I haven't had Whataburger in a long time. I think I had it in Austin, Texas last time I had
Oh, yeah.
it.
They're popping up all over Atlanta now. Because I saw a bunch of them. I was like, those weren't there,
Just need
3 years ago.
In-N-Out, that's what we need.
I ate it In-N-Out when I went to Nevada.
I had In-N-Out in L.A. years ago, and I think it was good, but I've forgotten it.
It's fast food, but I mean,
it's all fast food. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's not. It's no steak and ale.
It's not.
Ain't no Sizzler. Shoot.
It's no Western
Ain't no Sizzler Express
or
neither.
Quincy's.
or Quincy's. You got a long way to go
Last
to
time
go
I
to
was in
Quincy's.
Texas, a year ago, almost to the day.
That's right.
I had In-N-Out, I think, every day I was there.
Did you get animal style?
I don't do animal style, but yeah, it's one of those things where I had it, and I was when I first had it in Arizona years ago, not that long. John was 3, so 2 or 3
years ago.
Yeah, but and I had it, and it was good, and I was like, I was expecting more, but then after, it was one of those things that after you leave, you're like, actually, that's really good. You know?
Was this when you went to Milan's memorial service?
Yeah. That's not the first time I had it, but I had the first time.
I didn't remember you having that when we were there for that.
No, I got it. I would get it like for a late meal and take it back to the room. Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about getting Terry Blacks while we were there. Anyway, Taylor's update. I almost derailed us more. You didn't, Devin. You were on subject. I was like, remember Terry Blacks?
I like that my updates bring up other things though.
But it's all about food. So much. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm very hungry right now. I'm very hungry. I'm so hungry.
Just inspire us, Taylor.
I had a Dr. Pepper milkshake at Whataburger.
No.
It was really good. It was one of the best milkshake flavors I've ever had. I don't even care for Dr. Pepper.
I cannot stand it.
This is the kind of person I am. I asked the guy at the window what was good, and he told me things, and I was like, yes, give me that.
You are the antithesis of me. Oh
yeah,
boy,
yeah, I am. I literally am. I mean, I did.
As far as food goes,
I think I did that multiple times over the trip. And I do that when I go new places. I'm like, what's like good? And then they'll tell me this. I'm like, what do you like? And they're like, well, I like this. I'm like, I want that. I don't know why I am the way I am, but
that's amazing.
Usually it's good to me. But it was good. Dr. Pepper milkshake. I would do it again. I don't drink milkshakes often, but I would do it for that. So we went back to the airport. Remember, Lily has not been sleeping, getting naps. She did not take a nap that day. She's also having tummy issues, going to the bathroom, and she screamed for about half that flight back, screaming, like baby screams. And it was rough. Luke was fine. Luke had headphones on.
Were people kind and understanding?
I didn't pay attention to any people, so if they weren't, that's on them. I mean, no one said anything to us, so
good.
Yeah, I think the stewardess came and like checked on us. She's like, "You guys need anything? You good?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're good." But I mean, we did everything in our parental power to try to make her better, but nothing did until Lindsay. I mean, it was like. And we always make sure like to be some of the last people on the plane, especially with kids, because we don't want them to have to sit in the chairs in a plane with the air off while we're waiting for everyone to sit down and board. So we just let everyone else board, and then we're the last board. Pro parenting tip. It works. Maybe not in this situation, but Luke did great. He's got games and headphones and stuff, so. But Lily was, she ended up, from when we got on the plane till a little after takeoff, like we were in the air at our elevation, she was still screaming, and eventually she fell asleep laying flat on Lindsay's lap, like head hanging down one side of her legs, her feet hanging down the other, and she just fell asleep, and she slept for the middle of the flight. Woke up at the end and screamed pretty much until we stood up. So, it was a lot, but we're here. We made it home. So, I'm getting tired. Or wait, what time is it? Oh, that's what time it is. That's also why I'm tired. I was gonna say I'm getting tired thinking about it, but I think I'm just also tired. So that was the trip, and it was good despite Lily not feeling good. She had a great time. Lots of pictures and videos of her smiling, having fun. We did not go to a steak and ale, sadly. Maybe next time.
Well,
Did you say
not
there's any
every
in
trip
Atlanta?
can have
or-
everything. No, there used to be, but not anymore.
There's one place. So we went on a double date with some of our close friends, Chris and Jenna, who we stayed with the first half of the trip. We went on a double date with them to a restaurant, and something caught my eye, mine and Chris's eye, that was by like where they were bringing the food out, and it was this big like I don't know what shape it was, but it was like this. What shape is that? I don't know. Looked like a cake. So it looked like a cake, and it looked really good. And they were like coming by, and they were like getting pieces of it, putting on what it looked like to us. We were kind of far away, and we were trying to figure it out. And we are like, man, that's good. We might have to order some of that. And we asked the, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but we asked the waiter what kind of cake it was, I think, and he was like, "Oh, that's butter." And we were just watching them scoop butter onto a plate and like, man, that looks so good.
Looks so good. I can't wait to get some of that.
It's like, I don't know where that is on the dessert menu, but that's what I'm ordering. Yeah, it's just butter.
I'm going to stop eating this appetizer because I know what I'm getting.
Need to save room.
Yeah.
I took a video of it because I had to, and I was vlogging, so I took a video of it just in case I need to use it for the old vlog. But that was really funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was a good trip. And this week, because that was last week, this week we've just been catching up on getting the kids back in their routines and their naps, and resting ourselves and doing laundry, lots of laundry. So, and I'll just do one more update because that was a big one.
Particularly because of us. Sorry.
One more update. There's something that, so Luke likes to watch, I don't know if anyone else's kids are like this, but Luke likes to watch videos of people playing with toys, like, and kind of specific, like he likes Mickey toys and like Cars, Pixar Cars toys and things like that. So
YouTube.
yeah, it's big on YouTube. So he always asks for Mickey toys, and we'll play it. And the thing though that kind of sucks about them is they're usually short videos. So like they'll be over in like 3 minutes, and he's like, watch it again. So you have to sit there and let him watch it. Eventually we actually got to a point where like, no, we're not watching these. You got to watch something.
Yeah.
If you're going to watch something, it's got to be longer, because I'm not going to sit here and keep replaying it. But he got to a point where he was saying he wants all the toys. So he's like, I want that toy. I want this toy. Ooh, I want that toy. And that was kind of driving us crazy. So we just realized that, it was a good moment to help him learn about the love of God and God's goodness and how he will provide things that you desire. And so we've been telling him that, if you want these toys, we're not just going to go out and buy it for you, but you can ask the Lord for them, and the Lord can get it for you. And that's something that can happen. And so a couple of times he would say, yeah, I want to do that. And so we'd sit there and we'd pray with him, and asking the Lord for the toy, and just thanking the Lord that he's good. And we realized that I don't know how long we were doing that for. I don't feel like it was that long, because he hasn't really watched the toys too much more so lately, because we can't stand it playing. But but I caught him, and I'm probably messing up this story because I'm still, like I said, getting over last week of traveling and stuff. My brain's foggy, but I caught him taking a bath. Him and Lily were taking a bath together, and I was in like this room right here, and the bathroom's like right there, so had the doors open so I can hear them and stuff. And I heard him say, "Here, sissy, take my hand." And he had just had a meltdown too. I don't remember what it was about, but he had a meltdown about something. He was still kind of upset when he was talking, and he said, "Here, sissy, let's take my hand." And I heard, water splash a little bit. And then he said, "Dear Jesus, thank you for getting me my Mickey toy. Amen." And it was just so sweet, such a sweet thing to hear.
Oh my
a 3-year-old trusting the Lord to get him
the
thing that in his head is huge. This is like he sees it on TV. It's like the biggest thing to him ever is these
Yeah.
Mickey toys that he's seen so many times. And I walked in there and just looked, and I think, I don't know if he heard me walk in right afterwards or whatever, but he just turned around and he had this cute little smile on his face. He said, "I prayed, Daddy." And I said, "I heard you, buddy. And the Lord heard you too." And, I don't know how long ago that was. Maybe it was, I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe. And then yesterday, package showed up on our door, and it was a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse toy. It was the toy that he had prayed for. Showed up on our door.
Thank you, Lord.
And we, his parents, were not the ones that ordered it.
Thank you, Lord.
And so the Lord cares about our kids. And I think too, the fact that he did that on his own, he prayed, he got it, and
Yeah.
the Lord heard that prayer and
That's
got him
life-changing
exactly
for
what
him,
he
man.
wanted. Yeah. And so I was talking to someone about this today, that these things, I'm fairly new to this kind of faith and believing and all this stuff when it comes to the Lord providing for you everything that you need above and beyond. And like, if I had known about this stuff way earlier, how much better, I guess. Yeah, it would be better because I'd be that much farther along, but like how much easier things might have been. But now that we can instill these things into our kids and it's happening, like, that's one thing. Is like, people, you might not believe that you can just pray for something, ask the Lord for it, and he'll get it for you. But he just did it for my kid. And I'm pretty sure they don't sell the thing that he wanted. I don't even think they make them anymore. And he got one brand new in a box.
Thank you, Lord.
Brand new in a box. And he's done that for me. He's doing that for my 3-year-old. And man, I know that's just going to be something, that he holds on to and he remembers. And he is currently sleeping with that toy in his bed because it has a bed. It's a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse toy, and it's got all the parts that from the TV show Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. It's got all the parts that the clubhouse has, and part of it has a little bed for Mickey to sleep on. So when this is the second night he's had it, but for naps and for bedtime, he takes the whole thing in with him. It closes up and packs up nice, and he sets it next to him, and he lays Mickey on the bed, and he lays his head on his pillow and stares at Mickey on the bed while he's sleeping. And I walked in last night and he said, "Look, Mickey's sleeping." And I was like, "Yeah, he is." And he said, "And I'm sleeping." And he knows, I'm pretty sure, I think whenever he opened it and he looked at it and we said, "What is it?" And he said, "It's the clubhouse." And we said, "Who got you for this? Who got this for you?" And he said, "The Lord got it for me." And he said that multiple times. And it's not something that we're like, "Now you remember the Lord got this for you." He knows that he prayed for it and that the Lord got it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man,
he was
that is
watching.
huge.
Yeah, he was watching while Paula and I were taking care of them last night during your date. He was watching some Christian kids videos, and they were singing songs. And this one particular song was about the goodness of God and Him, doing great things. And Luke is singing along with it and dancing along with it. And when they got to this part where they were talking about God doing things for you, he said to the TV, "Yes, yes." And he turned around to the clubhouse. He said, "God got me the Mickey Clubhouse. He got it for me." And neither Paula nor I were like, "Luke, remember that the Lord got this for you." It came out of him on his own. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's just special. That's just special. And it's getting into all of the kids in the BFF gang. Paula, years ago, Paula was with John at, I think, Target. And she got him something because he was very obedient. And she was teaching him that obedience, it's very important, not just for mommy and daddy and uncle and auntie and Aunt Tay and Auntie Lynn, but especially for the Lord. and he always does good, but he especially is able to do more good when you're obedient, because it opens the door for him to just shower you the way he wants to. It's not that do good, get good, and do bad, get bad. It's he wants to get it to you, but if you're willing and obedient, you'll eat the good of the land. And she was thinking John was going, because the cashier lady said, "Oh, you're getting a toy," and he's looking at the toy. He says, "Uh-huh." And Paula said, "Yeah, tell her why you're getting it." And Paula thought he was going to say, "Because I was obedient." And John goes, "Because God loves me." And Paula goes, "Well, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right."
You know, and you don't have to manufacture this stuff either.
No.
If you just, I mean, I remember something as simple. We were on our way to church, and John randomly said, "I want ice cream," and we said, "I don't." I'm remembering it the best I can, but if we're on the way to church, we're like, well, you know what? Ask the Lord for some ice cream, and not trying to just pass it off.
No.
But he did. And honest to goodness, we're sitting in the foyer, and somebody that is unrelated to us and who we don't talk to a ton walked up to John and handed him $20 and said, "Go get you some ice cream, buddy." And Kayla and I were like, wow, if that's not just the biggest God showing up and let me show this kid how I do things,
There's a reason why Jesus said to have faith like a child.
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
It coming as a child, coming with that kind of faith, that's the way you inherit the kingdom. But I mean,
John, and it's exactly like what we've been talking. Yeah,
gosh, it's
exactly
so nice.
what we keeps going.
I need to see it in person.
It's exactly like what we've been talking about. It's not a Jedi mind trick, and it's not something you will to happen. Confessions are good, but first of all, you have to be sure you're not reciting and you're actually confessing. And on top of that, that's for you, not God.
Right.
And the thing is, if it's for your mind renewal and for your faith. But a kid's faith just kind of they receive it and then they move on. And that's just that they don't walk around. They don't have to sit there and confess to build something up in themselves, because it's already there. They're not jaded like we are, it's just and that's why, in my opinion, not to get off on a tangent, and if you have done the whole Santa Claus is real thing with your kids, this is not to criticize you or anything, but that's why we don't do Santa Claus. Because I don't want to taint or harm that childlike faith to where when they find out that Santa Claus isn't real, it starts to bring other questions. That literally happened to someone I know. They said that when they were a kid, they found out Santa Claus wasn't real, and they said, "Oh, so Jesus isn't real?" And their parents were like, "Well, no. You got to be careful." Now, we still talk about Santa Claus just like we talk about Mickey, just like we talk about Batman, just like we talk about Minecraft. It's fun and Santa Claus is based on someone that actually lived, so we can talk about that. But it's fun to use your imagination, but you have to separate imagination from what's real.
Right.
And it protects the childlike faith. And if you don't try to pump a bunch of garbage into them, I believe we can protect it throughout their whole childhood into adulthood.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just growing up thinking this is what he does.
Yeah.
Just not
It's
no
that, unhindered trust.
Absolutely.
That's all they know is my dad says if I ask the Lord for this, he can get it for me. It's going to happen. And I mean, man, it'll happen.
yeah.
And when it happens, not if, when it happens, because he is faithful. When it happens, that nourishes their faith
Yeah.
and builds their trust in him so that as they get older, this is training up a child in the way he should go, so that when he's old, he won't depart. Right? It's the thing that will keep them when they get out there in the world, because there's a ton of pressure out there to let go of your faith. But it's not beating them over the head with memorize this Bible verse, memorize this Bible verse, memorize this Bible verse. No. Learning right now when they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Learning now that they can trust him, that they can call out to him and ask him for help. We talked about on Devin's testimony video how John was nervous. So I led John in a prayer to bring his feelings to the Lord and then pray for his dad. And the Lord was faithful and ministered peace to that little boy that I could not have ministered to him. I could not do it in my own power. But he told me so. He immediately felt better. These lessons are showing these children the truth. And the truth is that God is real. Jesus is real, and Jesus is his son, and God has raised Jesus from the dead. And if you call on him, he will answer you. And anything you ask the Father in the name of Jesus, he will do it for you. And what these children are experiencing, you have come too late to tell me. Forget that I'm sitting here next to the things and surrounded by the things that I've asked my Father for in Jesus' name. But these children experiencing this, you've come too late to tell me that he only provides your needs, because he definitely is ready, eager, and able to provide you everything you need every day. But what these little ones are experiencing, he is doing more than a Santa Claus could ever do. This thing that Luke has, like Taylor said, it doesn't exist anymore. They don't make it anymore. They stopped making it years ago. A guy in Greece had it. Brand new, still in the box. In Greece, just waiting for Luke. Waiting for Luke to pray, and then the Lord to move on somebody to purchase it and have it sent. That's how he does things. So, these are faith milestones for these little ones. And the whole episode has been full of milestones, whether it's potty training, whether it's learning to ride your bike, whether it's seeing something, Lily's first plane trip, first baseball game, or the Lord providing something that you joined hands with your little 1-year-old sister and prayed for, and God did it in just a couple of weeks. These are huge milestones, and I know I speak for the other guys when I say we have obviously a ton of fun sharing them with you guys and sharing them with each other, and occasionally talking about things like steak and ale and Western sizzling. So we know that we got something out of this. We know that we had a blast, and we hope you did too. And that's what we got. I'm Uncle. That's Devin. That's Taylor. We're the dudes. We're with you. See you, gang.
Ciao.
Steak and ale.
Please like and subscribe in 10 minutes.